Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over an ultimate step-by-step checklist on what you need to do in order to get your dealer's license and start and run a profitable car dealership. So stick around, grab your pen and paper, take some screenshots, whatever you want to do. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's dive in. All right, guys, here we are in my computer. Step number one, you're going to need to do your research before you open a dealership. What do I mean by this? You got to research the area where you want to open your business. Check the local demographics, check the traffic, check the legality. And what do I mean by that? Can you open a dealership there, right? Like, is it allowed? Some businesses don't allow auto dealerships. So check with the property owner, check with the leasing agency, as well as the local DMV for zoning requirements and licensing requirements to see if you're able to operate a dealership there, right? You don't want to spend your hard-earned money. Come to find out they deny your application because you couldn't operate a dealership there. So that's it for step one. Step number two is to get a dealer's license. An application, like an actual application. You can look this up online or you can actually get it in paper. And the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because on a dealer application, especially if you're in a different state other than Texas, in your dealer application, your dealer's license should tell you exactly your instructions on what's required in your state, your region, your county, wherever you're at, right? So for this example that we're going to go over, we're operating out of Houston, Texas, and it's 2024 right now. Step number two is get your license and look at the fine print. It'll exactly tell you what you need. Step number three is to actually find a business location. And multiple ways to find locations are online and offline. Preferably offline should be your first step. Go out, drive around to where you want to open your lot and see if there are any dealerships around. Hit up the property owners. Like I said, make sure you can operate a dealership there, right? So choose the location depending on budget. If you're just starting out, I recommend you get a small size lot, just enough to get you licensed, and then get your feet wet, test the waters, and see what you can come up with. So that's it for number three. Step number four is to get your business registered legally, right? Get a legal structure. A legal structure is like an LLC, a DBA, or an incorporated, right? So you can do this online or you can actually hire an attorney to do this for you. You can do it yourself through the Secretary of State website, I believe, here in Texas. So that's it for step number four, is to get your legal structure. You're going to check that. Number five, once you get your location, legal structure, you're going to be able to get an EIN. And in the legal structure, you get to choose your name. For example, like XYZ Motors or HMC Motors, right? Once you get that, you're able to apply for step number five, which is your EIN. Get your employer identification number. Now, this is obtained through your IRS website and is usually free of charge. Consider this EIN like your business social security number, right? So that's it for step number five. And then once you have that, you will have your location. You're gonna have your legal structure already. So you're renting a spot under XYZ Motors, and then you'll be able to apply for your EIN, which is your business social security number, and then you'll be a legal business entity. Now, you need all this stuff before you're able to submit an application for a dealership, right? The next step is to create a business website. This is completely optional, but in today's day and age, I highly suggest you create a business website. Now, you can go at this alone through a company called WordPress, or you can hire any other site builder, but we suggest going with something fully automated if you're not a tech savvy person, right? You don't want to spend too much time wasting it, you don't want to spend too much wasted time and energy trying to learn that stuff if you can focus on something else, right? Pay somebody else to do that. So that will be like anywhere between $100 a month or $500 altogether. It all depends on who does it for you, right? Step number seven is to make your company more legit. Create a professional business email. Yes, a business email, something that doesn't end in @gmail.com, something that ends in your company name. So like xyzmotors.com or like mycompanymotors.com, right? So that's it for number seven. which means by now, if you've been following along, you've done your research, you got the application, you know exactly what you need, you've found a business location, and you've made your business a legal structure. You've got an employer identification number, which is your business social security. You've created a website, you've got a professional business email, so you're starting to be 100% legit, right? See how it's coming together? Then the next thing, if you don't have this already, will be a business phone number or an office phone, like an actual phone. You can do a wireless phone, you can do a wired phone, whatever, right? Or you can actually use a mobile phone. Some states will allow a mobile phone as long as it's registered under the yellow pages or anything that indicates online that that phone number is registered to a business and not specifically an individual or for business purposes per se, right? So that's it. You need a phone number specifically for business purposes. Like I said, in some instances, your mobile device can be used. We suggest a different line through a cell phone carrier. You can use like a Magic Jack as a low budget option, right? So if you're starting out, you can get yourself a little Magic Jack thing and try to register it, get that online, and that should qualify as a business phone. Like, why wouldn't it, right? Now, in Texas, you need what's called a surety bond. A surety bond is required by the state of Texas in case you fail to provide a title or in case you fail to follow the law, right? Of course, that's just the oversimplified version. I highly encourage you to do your research, but at the end of the day, this company comes over, and if you fail to provide a title, people can file a claim against your bond, and bond has up to $50,000 to cover the losses. Oversimplified way, please remember, entertainment purposes, right? Entertainment purposes, so yeah. Okay. And in the state of Texas, the surety bond has to be $50,000. That's like the coverage that the bond has to have. And the cost of it is usually like 10% or a very, very small amount. So it could be like $5,000 or it can be like $200. I've seen it be that cheap if you have really good credit. Yes, they do check your credit, so make sure you have good credit. So that's it for step number 9. And then the state of Texas requires you to complete a licensing course. Of course, if you're watching my video, I'm pretty sure that that will be a piece of cake for you, but I don't know if in your state is required. In the state of Texas they do. They require us to go through an extensive course, and it's about 4 to 6 hours long, which refreshes you on everything from all the laws, right, on how to run a dealership, which is pretty cool. But I kind of give you a different perspective, a different point of view, and hope you can get your own idea from that. So once you completed your education course, this one is required by the state of Texas. Every license holder must go through the course in order to qualify with the minimum knowledge to start and operate an auto dealership in Texas and do it all legal. Okay. And then once you complete that and submit that information, to get that dealer application, you can actually go on the portal, on e-licensing portal, and submit the application. They will require for you to do this. You are going to have to come up with your business name. So I suggest using a like the XYZ Motors, right? Something cool, something that resonates with you. It can be yourself, it can be your name, it can be like Angel Motors, Daniel Motors, Tiger Unlimited Motors. It doesn't even have to have motors. It could just be vehicle exchange process, Houston's vehicle exchange. Anyways, once you submit most of the information, they're going to ask for fingerprints. And fingerprints are required by the state of Texas. They're going to send you a appointment or like a link so you can schedule an appointment at a location where they scan your fingerprints and they upload them to the state to have them on file to make sure you're not a wanted criminal, I'm pretty sure, right? Or a terrorist. Anyways, you will have to order signage for your business too. That's another step on the checklist. And what I mean by signage, I mean like if you have a bigger location or if you're like rent a strip center, they may ask you to have signage that matches their own, so that may be a little bit expensive. Or if you're somewhere where there's limited restrictions, you can have like a banner, a metal banner, or like a metal sign somewhere that is weatherproof, or something that is weatherproof, and it can be on your wall, it can be on the property, big enough for it to be read from outside, people driving by, right? The state, whenever the state comes over to look at it, they got to be able to spot it and find it easy. So that's step number 13, order signage for your business. Step number 14 would be to order a first set of business cards. If you want to be a legit business, you got to have some business cards, be able to hand them out to people, showing your name, showing the address of the location, showing your position and your phone number, email, in a couple of ways to get a hold of you, right? So order your business cards. You are going to need office furniture. You're going to need office supplies. Office furniture includes office desk, a couple of chairs, minimum. requirement, right? So like a desk, a chair for the customer, a chair for you, and also you're going to require a secondary desk in case you get audited. They're going to want for you to have a suitable place for your auditor to be sitting next to you or somewhere in the building, right? Which shouldn't be a problem. So office furniture and office supplies, you have to have a computer with internet access, a printer, scanner, and a document shredder to shred sensitive information from customers, right? So next, you have to have a sales tax resale certificate. Now, this may not be required in your state. It depends on where you're at, but in Texas, you need a sales resale certificate. What this does is allows your business to buy and sell. Being tax exempt, you will get a 1099 at the end of the year from all the businesses that you do business with, right? But you won't have to pay taxes up front, which will save you at the moment. But at the end of the year, you have to have your taxes filed and you got to report a lot. Next, this has been asked a lot. You actually need an umbrella insurance policy or a garage policy. Most insurance carriers will offer it. If not, they will point you in the right direction on where to get it and what to do and how much it is, right? So most of the time, you can also, if you have floor plan companies, they do have their own sort of insurance company that you can pay a fee for and have your vehicles covered at the lot. So you can use that as your insurance policy and then have your own personal and customers' personal insurance policies, right? Or go ahead and get a garage policy, which is easy. If you're looking to finance cars, then you're going to need a motor vehicle finance license. And at this point, you're going to have everything. So let's do a quick recap. Okay. So step number 1, research before opening your dealership. Decide on where you want to open up. Look at the zones, look at your budget, see how much you want to spend, and make a decision right there. You can always upgrade, you can always move somewhere else, you can always change. So just get started. Number 2 is actually to go on e-licensing portal or go on your state website and get a dealer's license application and start submitting all the information that they require and start filling it out. This next step on the application, they're going to ask you for the business address, so you are going to have to find a business location. Once you have a business location, you are going to have to get a legal structure like the LLC, like I was talking about. And then you got to get your EIN, which is your employer identification number, and you need your LLC filing number in order to obtain that. The next step is, of course, obviously optional, which is create your business website. Remember, if I was you, in this day and age, I would create a mobile optimized dealer website. And then get your professional email. These are very inexpensive emails that you can get. Get your business phone number and your office phone to have in your office, because an office is not complete without a phone to call the leads, right? Then apply for your surety bond, $50,000. Complete your licensing education course. Submit your fingerprints to the state. Come up with a business name. That should have been at the beginning, but by now, if you're submitting your LLC, you would have came up with your business name, or you already have your idea for a business name. Order the signs for your business. You can order signs like the banners, or you can order like signage for all around your building. And then order your first set of business cards. You want to show off to your friends, family, and customers. When you have those business cards, you can even throw them, if you get a bunch of them, right? And I'm sure somebody's bound to pick one up and buy a card from you. Office furniture, remember, office supplies. Office furniture is, of course, the desk. You can get desk, couches, whatever suits your needs in your budget. Office supplies, get your phones, get your computers, get your printers, and trust me, don't go the cheap route with this one. Invest in a really good computer, invest in a really good printer, and it'll make your life easier, trust me. Then make sure you get your sales tax resale certificate so you can buy and sell goods while being tax exempt. Keep in mind that you will have to pay tax at the end of the year. Obtain your umbrella policy, and then obtain your motor vehicle finance license. What do they ask you for your finance license? The same thing as your dealer's license. They're going to ask you for the location address. They're going to ask you for your dealer's license number. They're going to ask you for your license, driver's license, social security. They're going to ask for your fingerprints. Submit all that information, and you may have to submit a blank contract and proof of experience, right? This is kind of tricky. Proof of experience that you know financing. So that's kind of like, hey, you gotta have it to get it, and you gotta get it to have it kind of thing. So keep that in mind too, right? At this point, congratulations, you should now have received your dealer's license in the email or your dealer's license in the mail. And this is what you need to do after you become licensed, right? So here we go. Now let's say you're already proud, you got your dealer's license and you're excited, you are ready to go to the next step. So what do you need to do to get started? You need to register with a company called Auction Access. Okay, you got to look that up just the way it sounds, Auction Access. And it's something that is probably be $100 for you to sign up with them. They're going to ask you for your dealer's license number, location, address. So you have to have your license in order to be able to sign up with Auction Access. But it's fairly simple, and it's not going to take long. You have to register with your local and online auto auctions. So once you have your Auction Access, that's what the auctions are going to require for you to have in order to sign up with them. So you'll provide your Auction Access number, you'll give them your driver's license, you give them all the information, your address, your location, and then you'll finally be registered with your local auction. How do you find these auctions? You can go on Google and find auto auction near me. Boom, done deal. That's how you find it. The next step is to get familiar with the auctions. Trust me, before you buy your first car, go to the auction, see how it works out, or you can just watch my videos, right? And then you'll see how we bid, you'll see how we do all that good stuff. So get familiar with the auctions and get familiar with bidding. Don't fall for the tricks that the auction likes to do to new people, right? Next, once you're familiar with that, you will know what a run list is. So get yourself an auction run list. A run list is a list of cars that are going to run the following day or the following week. They're scheduled to run, right? So get your run list and then do your research on what cars are going to be running, which cars you're interested in, and then look into those cars. Make sure that they have clean Carfax. Make sure that they're not, turds, pieces of craps, or something that you're going to make an expensive mistake on, right? Or you're gonna have a tough lesson to learn. Once you have your auction run list, you're good to go. Now you're ready. Wait until the sale date, attend, and buy your first car. See how it's coming together. You got your location, you got your Auction Access, you reached out to these auctions, you signed up with them, you learn about the auction, and now you're ready to buy your car. You get to the auction, the sale starts to go. You start bidding on the cars that you want because you did your research and you know how much to buy on it, you know how much to spend, and you don't know how much to owe. You know how much to spend and you know how much not to pay because you've been watching my videos and you know exactly what we do. So you can do that, right? So purchase your first car for the lot. Now, once you buy your first car, you got to pay for it. So how do you pay for it? You got to have either cash, cold hard cash. You have to have business money, or you can get a credit line through floor plan companies where they're partnered up with the auction. They work with them together and they'll just pay your cars, and then you pay the floor plan when you sell the car. That's pretty easy. A floor plan, that's what it's called, which is like a credit card for cars. Only works at certain auctions, certain floor plans. So cash out. So you bought your car, you paid for your car with the floor plan. Now you need to transport that car to your dealership. So you transport your vehicles to your lot, and then you got to inspect these cars and make them ready for sale. You don't want to be driving down the road or have a customer, God forbid, drive down the road, tires fall off, engine breaks, transmission fails, right? You don't want that. So transport your cars to your lot, inspect the vehicles and make them ready, get them oil change done, get an inspection done, make sure the tires are good. Remember, you're not making these cars brand new, but you also got to make sure they're safe. You can't make sure you put somebody on a rolling coughing. That'll be messed up, right? So the next step is, so when you're inspecting these vehicles, you got to make sure you make a list of everything that you need. Remember, you cannot and should not make a car brand new. This is how simple I keep it, right? So this is the checklist that I'm trying to go over with you. Next thing is to partner up with a mechanic. Partner up, search around for a mechanic that's willing to work with you and somebody who's knowledgeable and reliable. All right, you're probably going to have to go through a few of them before finding the right one to do business with, because some operate differently and some mechanics tend to have certain attitudes, right? So you got to be a people's person and you got to be able to put up with these mechanics and just make it work. Biggest suggestion to you is always, if you're not sure, the car has trouble, always take it to the main dealership, the franchise dealership, and pay for diagnostics, because that's where it's going to end up at, right? A mechanic, somebody that's good, right? And that's going to take care of all your mechanical parts, like your engine, your transmission. Make sure that your car's make ready. So these guys are going to check it out and going to tell you what you need, and make sure you trust these guys. In this business, you have to have good judgment. How do you get good judgment? From experience. And how do you get experience? From bad judgment. So you may have to go through a few, you might get lucky. The next step is to partner up with a body and collision repair person, because you need the cars to be mechanically sound, and you need these cars, especially if you buy wrecked cars or if people crash your cars. You need to know where to take your cars to get them fixed for a lower cost than a full-size collision center. And usually individuals who are independent, who run their own shops, are the people to talk to when it comes to this. They'll help you out, versus a large franchise corporation that'll charge you max amount. Hey, we're almost done here. So now the next step is, what do you do after your car's at the lot and it's already ready for sale, and it's now time to get you customers? So once you have bought your car from the auction, you have transported the car to your lot, you have made it ready for sale, cleaned it up, made sure that the engine and transmission are solid. Now it's time to sell it, right? It's time to get it clean. It's time to get it detailed, get it photos taken care of. So here we go. Step number 1. In your dealership, you have to have an inventory management site. And this site is basically your business website too. Your business website could have an inventory site, which is good. That's what you need to have. So inventory management site. And remember, this can be done with the same $99 a month site that I told you about. Oh, you can also use another software called Fraser, and it's going to keep track of all your inventory, all the costs in your car, and all the repairs and everything you've done to it, because that's something important that you got to keep track of. The next thing is you need to get a CRM to keep track of all your customers. A CRM is a customer research or customer relationship manager, which uses a software to keep all your customers in one place. It's going to be the best tool for you in the future, because it's going to have a list of everyone you talk to and everyone who's shown interest in buying cars that you can target months, years down the line, right? So that's very important. Please, I suggest you don't skip it. Try to do it from day one. And it says, use a customer relationship management software to keep all your customers in one place. This will be the best tool in the future. Several automotive turnkey solution softwares are available out there. HubSpot is a great free tool. Now, if you like free, I like free stuff. I'm also a junkie for paid stuff, right? I do like to pay for stuff. So I have the paid version of HubSpot, but they do offer a free version, and that got me by for several years. So it should work for you too. The next thing is get a DMS, which is a dealer management software. A DMS could be like DealerTrack or Route One, a software that's going to allow you to submit applications to the bank. The two most common ones, like I said, are DealerTrack and Route One. So you are going to need a software like Fraser to keep all your accounting and print your forms and generate your sales reports. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. The next one is very important. You want to look professional, so take good photos of your vehicles. Okay, when I mean good photos, I mean take good photos, man. Make sure your cars are clean. Make sure you have nice, shiny, good photos of these cars. I mean, think about it. If you were buying a car, right, you want to buy a car that looks good. So at least I like to check and see how they do their cars, see if it catches my eye. Remember, your smartphone's good enough, takes great photos, but you gotta have like a 15 Pro Max or like a 13 Pro Max or something good, right? Something that takes good photos. A Samsung Galaxy Ultra 5G S24. A smartphone is good enough, takes great photos of your cars, but we suggest you get a good camera, stands out, higher quality, and upload them to your website. Next step, cannot skip this one. Create social media channels. So you must go where the eyeballs go. See, we may be in YouTube right now, we may be in TikTok right now. Trust me, this is the life for your business too. Create social media channels. Almost everybody's on social media. Almost every business has social media, from the mainstream business ones too. They all have social media. So you must go and you must be where the eyeballs go. The money's going to follow. Utilize all social networks: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Snapchat. And then once you do that, you will create a strong presence, and it's going to compound over time. The more posts you do, the more exposure, the more reach, more opportunities, etc. Right? So the next thing is to advertise on classified sites. Classified sites to get the word out there that you are now selling cars, like post on the sites like Craigslist, OfferUp, 5 miles. Craigslist is not dead. There are still people with money that shop on Craigslist. It's just a little more expensive. But Craigslist, OfferUp, 5 miles, excellent tools for your business when it comes to selling cars. I started on 5 miles and I started on OfferUp, and I still use them till this day. You can also go the classic auto listing sites like AutoTrader, CarGurus, Carfax, and Cars.com, just to name a few. Although they cost money, so these are more advanced. I would suggest you wait a little bit later on until you've mastered something before you go on to these companies, because unless they give you a good deal, right? You're a new dealership, they like you, they want to sign you on, they get a special. Sometimes you may be in a low traffic area depending on your zip code, and they'll give you a very, very low price and a good deal. So sign them up by all means. Don't be discouraged, okay? The next thing is sign up your vehicle history report companies, like a company like Carfax and AutoCheck, that are going to offer history reports that are going to help you avoid expensive mistakes at the auction, because you don't want to buy a car that's had airbags deployed. If you're trying to take that through a bank and you don't have Carfax, you buy a car, airbags deployed, you buy it on floor plan, you can't really get out of it, and you may have paid too much for it because you didn't know until the last minute, so this is like a nightmare situation that does happen. And Carfax, a simple Carfax pull could have helped you avoid that situation. Not just that, but when customers do come over to your dealership, they will want to see some sort of, hey, what do you have the service records? When's the last time the oil changed? When was the last time the oil was changed? You can always just print out the Carfax history report, show it to them. They see that it's not salvaged. They feel much better, peace of mind, close them right there, Then the next is the most underrated one. Don't forget to post on Facebook Marketplace. Of course, if you have Facebook, chances are you have a Marketplace application on your phone, and that is a great tool you can use to post photos of your vehicles, advertise your business out there, and get those customers. Capture that market share, right? So post on Facebook Marketplace, which is another classified site, and you can post all your cars on there regularly and collect the leads that come in. Next, you can start a marketing campaign. You can do this with a regular free campaign or a paid ads campaign. Paid ads to drive traffic to your website and your inventory, like Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, and TikTok ads are all going to be very, very helpful, and the lifeblood for your business too, right? This includes email marketing too. So in the marketing campaign with your paid ads includes email marketing. You don't want to skimp out on email marketing because it's something that helps you keep customer retention. Email marketing, you keep pumping out these emails to these customers. Believe me, they will click on your emails, they will come in, they will buy, you build curiosity, they're going to buy. It's a law, bro. It's a law. And then we suggest you collect all your leads in your CRM. So all the leads you generated from all your marketing efforts should all land in one place so you can sell them. So keep the message consistent when you're doing offline marketing. That is something that I need to talk about too. Offline marketing. Remember, you can develop a brochure with some information, some flyers to hand out, or something with a QR code that can lead them to a website where you can capture their name, phone number, and email, and make that a lead where you can talk to them and follow up with them later, right? Once you contact all your leads or collect all your leads in your CRM, you're ready to start contacting these leads and begin selling them. Preferably, you want to contact them as they come. As soon as they pop up in your CRM, give them a call and get them in. Okay, so what I mean by that, reach out to each lead generated in person. That's the best way to do it, in person if you can, over the phone, via text, email, or social media message. You can even snap them, right? Just to get a customer. So that's the worst thing though. Try not to snap people. But if that's somebody that's you, then by all means snap away. Tell them, hey, come on to the dealership. Once you have your CRM, you'll be able to filter your leads based on readiness to buy, right? Who's ready to pull the trigger right now? Who's ready to buy a car right now? Those are the people that you have to call. The people that have filled out an application that you've submitted to the bank, you've gotten approved, those are the first people you got to call. They're closest to converting into a sale, and you're ready to get money from them. And they also have a hole in their pocket. They need to get a car, and those are the people that you got to sell. So let's move forward, man. We're almost done. We're almost done here. So at this point, you're a licensed dealer. You bought your cars. You fixed your cars. And you have post them on your website, you have generated your marketing campaigns, you have gotten customers. Okay, customers have became leads to your dealership. So now I have to explain to you, at this point you should have a list of ready to buy customers. So now the customer journey begins. Right when you have the list, it starts with the customer becoming aware of your dealership. So step 44, customer becomes aware of your dealer. Customer sees an advertising online or offline and starts to build interest. This is due to the fact that they're in the market for a vehicle. Wow, right? Who would have known? Anyways, so they'll call you and they say, hey, is that car still available? I saw it on the website. I saw your advertisement. I watched it on the picket sign on the side of the road. I'm interested. So once they do that, you direct them to a page where they can fill out their information, and you can collect their name, phone number, and email. So in case they don't buy that same day, you can call them so they can buy the next day. So they will complete the customer form. The customer is going to reach out to you, or if you're not available, they're going to leave you the contact information, like I said, and then you will be able to contact them at a later date or a later time. So once you do that, you can pre-qualify the customer online, or you can just tell them to fill out an application or have them come in and they will submit an application. At this point, they're going to fill out everything they can, either in paper or online on the computer, so you can start getting them qualified to get a car, right? They can do that in person or online, like I said. So once you get them approved, or once they come in, you have to schedule a test drive appointment. If you're with a lead and they don't want to fill out an application online, then just schedule a test drive appointment to get them in and get them to sign and test drive, right? You got to get them behind the wheel. They say the feel of the wheel is half the deal. So bring the customer in, get their ass in the seat, get them driving, fill out the application, and sell the car. So if the customer is looking to buy cash, schedule the appointment immediately. Same thing applies for financing. After you review the application, send it in for review, bring the customers in, work them, sell them a car. Once you do that, the customer is going to come in and it's going to meet with your dealership and they're going to test drive. So they're going to meet with your salesperson, they're going to meet with you, whatever, right? So at this point, finally the customer shows up and they have selected a vehicle and they've gone on a test drive. They pull back up and then they tell you, hey, you know what? I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Give me the paperwork. I'm ready to take it home with me, right? You're going to feel really, really good when this happens. And the best feeling after selling one car is selling another one, right? The best feeling after selling one car is selling another one. Trust me, that is true. So at this point, the customer will convert into a sale. They saw you online, they came in, they filled out your stuff, or they test drove the car and they're ready to pull the trigger. They got the money in their pocket, or they can go to the bank or purchase a cashier's check for you. Depends on what payment methods you want to accept. So at this point, it says the customer sold on the vehicle and is ready to make a payment via the payment methods accepted by you. And then you will use the DMS to print out all the legal forms for the sale, and be sure to have the document signed by both the dealer and the buyer. So in your system, in your DMS, it will have all your dealer forms where you can print all your legal forms, so they can, your bill of sale, agreement to provide insurance, title application, all that good stuff, so the customers can sign them and make the paperwork legal, right? Make the sale transaction legal. Now, step number 50. If you're selling a contract to a bank, remember I was talking about the banks. You sign up the bank, you got a customer approved, they went over numbers, they went over figures. Contract your customer, that's what it's called, right? You show the customer the numbers, you print all the legal forms when your customer sign the contracts. So after you contract the customer, we as the dealer, we can package the contract at the dealership and send it out to the bank for funding. Sometimes the bank is out of state, they can be in California, they can be in Vegas, and you have to print a label, or you have to take it to your shipping location, send it out, and they will receive it in 24 to 72 hours or even 7 days, depending on how long you pay for the shipping. So it's best to send it out ASAP, right? Like if I can pay $15 for it to get their second day air, by all means do it. And it says the bank is going to fund your deals within 24 to 72 hours after receiving the deal. They should complete all their verifications for funding and wire the money via ACH, which would be the same thing as the customer giving you cash or bringing you a check. So you got paid from the bank. Now at this point, you got paid from the customer or you got paid from the bank, you bought your car, advertised your car, sold your car, and now it's time to pay the taxes and transfer the title. So see, almost done. Once you have been funded by the bank, it's time to transfer the title into the buyer's name. And if you're financing it, or if the customer paid cash, you don't have to include a lien holder, so you just transfer it directly to the customer. But if you went through a bank, you will have to transfer the title to the customer's name and list the bank as the lien holder, and this way the bank will get the title first. And then once the customer is done paying for it, the bank will send the customer the title. So yes, that's basically it, guys. That's the end of the video. That's the end of the process. It starts with you becoming a licensed dealership, and it ends with you transferring the title to the customer and paying your taxes. At the end of the year, you will have like taxes like any business will have, your regular income taxes, your regular self-employment taxes, and all that stuff. So I suggest you hire a professional to take care of your taxes. Now, something that I didn't cover but I didn't forget is warranty. Okay, if you're a used car dealership, you can reach out to warranty companies and sell these aftermarket products that will cover the customer's engine, transmission, seals, gaskets, and give you peace of mind that your vehicles are going to be covered when these customers are driving it. And they are very inexpensive, and they're a good investment, because if something happens, these companies will cover you, and you will be happy that you did that. So you can reach out to warranty companies, partner up with them to become a vendor for the extended warranties that's going to cover the vehicle's major components like the engine and transmission, right? The next is tracking devices, GPS units. Please don't skimp out on GPS units, because I would prefer you pay a small amount of money to put a GPS in your car and know exactly where your car is in case your customers don't pay and it's time for you to get that back. You don't want to be chasing your customer around town, especially in a city like Houston. Once you let the car go, chances are you're never going to see that car again. So remember, protect your money, protect your assets. Don't forget to secure your vehicles with tracking devices, because there are several kinds available for you to choose from. There are wired devices, there are wireless devices, and I suggest you put more than one on the car just in case, right? And after that, one last thing, I suggest that you gather reviews from your customer. Reviews and customer testimonials are going to be very important for your business, because just like me, when I go to restaurants and when I go places, I like to look at the reviews, and I sort by lowest review first to see what the people or the bad things are saying, because the 5-star reviews could be like, hey, bribed, right? The people who get upset enough to go and comment or go write a review tend to tell the truth, or just tend to have very emotional, right? Then you can draw your conclusion. If it's something, you can be the judge of the situation. If it's something like, oh, my food was cold, you never know what happened. Or if it's something like, oh, the waiter treated me wrong, that's different. Or the management staff sucks, versus, oh, I waited so long. Anyways, it all depends, right? So get customer reviews, try to provide exceptional service to these people, and they will spread word of mouth. They'll talk about you, so make sure that they'll spread positive words, and you will have a repeat business, referral business. People love to have friends in the business, and they will be happy to pass out your business cards. So don't forget about your business cards. Don't forget about telling everybody what's up, right? So this is it, guys. If you stuck around, holy crap, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're doing yourself a favor. You should pat yourself on the back and say, thank you, baby. I'm going to be successful because I just went through exactly the whole blueprint, step by step, what you need to do. Okay, this is not rocket science. This is simple things. Usually success is simple, guys. Success is simple. It's just hard. All right, reality of it is hard. It's 54 things, and these 54 things usually cost time or money. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with this. Please leave your comments. I know I missed a lot of things here, and there may be things that you want answered, and trust me, I want to know what those things are. We are working on a course. This checklist will be available for you to download and check it out, right? It's going to be available for free for you to download, and we're creating a course where we're going to go over every single thing, very, very detailed, showing you exactly what we do, how we do it, and how you can do it too, very easily. So please go ahead and submit your information for me, right? And let's get you on that waiting list for that course so you can get it and you can become a profitable used car dealer just like us. That's the goal, right? Let's get rich together. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you for sticking around, and let's make it happen, baby. Checking out.